welcome to Find Out Nation. We are the podcast that explores what happens to a nation when they fuck around and start finding out. I am one of your hosts, Jamie.
I'm one of your hosts, Nicole.
And today marks a joyous day.
Yes.
I did not warn Nicole that I was going to lead this podcast with this news. But
God.
For those of you who care, don't care, Chads, Brads, Dads, our beloved Travis Kelce has asked the Princess of the United States, Taylor Swift, to be his bride. And let me tell you, Kansas City is so excited. At least the cool people in Kansas City are so excited that my boss, my chief people officer, gave the Kansas City locals the afternoon off of work today.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I am not. Nobody took the day off. We all continued working, but it was like the sweetest message. Gesture. She's like, hey, for those of you wildly distracted by what can only be the, astounding news, if you can, feel free to take the afternoon off and celebrate the love inside the city. Because I have to venture to say that, I know people get mad about Taylor Swift and her whatever, but I love the Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift love story. And I think as Midwesterners, I keep this is what she needed, was a down home, good-hearted Midwestern boy. That's my feeling on it. So.
Well, I'm happy for you that you're so happy for them.
I am so happy for them. Thank you.
I'm glad. Yeah.
It is also my birthday week, so I feel
it's your birthday eve. Let's be real clear.
Indeed.
It's your birthday eve.
It is. So I feel like they did it just for me.
I think you're probably right.
And I appreciate that they did it the day before my birthday so that I still get all the attention tomorrow.
Oh my God, so true. I would have had to boycott her even more if they'd have done it tomorrow on your day.
I don't know. Boycott? Do you really boycott Taylor? Tay-Tay?
I mean, no, I just don't really give a shit about her. I feel like it's all so overblown and it just makes my need to not give a shit even worse. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm just oh God, and people just cannot. Her fans are rabid. It's just it's cult to me, and so then I'm I don't think so.
Okay,
not for me.
While I appreciate that perspective, I will remind you that for a birthday maybe 10, 15 years ago, you bought me New Kids on the Block color fashion plates.
I sure did.
So
and I do it again.
While I understand that the obsession with Taylor is an obsession, I would venture to say that our obsession with New Kids on the Block lasted well into adulthood, and I still stand for them.
Sure.
So
and I love this for all of her fans. You know what I mean? I love it for all of her fans and everybody that's excited for them. I just can't bring myself to care.
Okay. Well, even President Trump wished the two luck, if you can believe that. So
I can't believe that, considering
he did.
Wow.
He and Tay-Tay are not on the best.
I think this is a definite indicator that the cognitive wheels are slipping.
Oh, girl. No kidding.
He's with her well.
Oh, girl. Okay. Give us our countdown.
Okay. We are 433 days until the midterms.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like it was shorter last time.
I know. Well, no, we were at an even 440 last time, and that's the only reason I remember that is because we were at an even number. So I can tell you it's definitely less.
I believe you that it's less, but it feels like it
doesn't feel
I
that
think
way.
Because we went from an even number to an odd number.
Odd, yeah.
Yeah, it futzes with me.
Yeah. We're 218 days in.
Okay, that seems like that's a high number. That seems like a high number.
Yeah.
So we're getting there.
He has managed, so I think the golf tracker was not totally up to date last time, but he has golfed every weekend this whole month.
Oh,
so we're
I don't think the golf tracker, to be fair, I'm going to guess the golf tracker has to do some reconnaissance work
I think
to
so too.
get
Yeah.
golf information. So I'm going to guess that that's not like real time golfing info. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
no, probably not. And it's interesting
Yeah.
because so he's golfed 55 days. So an even 25% of his presidency so far has been spent on golfing. Estimated cost to taxpayers is 77 million. That estimated cost is based on the average price per round calculated from the cost per trip identified within the government's 2019 report on the cost of 4 golf trips taken by him in his first presidency.
So you know it's more expensive now.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well,
Yeah. So there you go. There's your
love that
countdowns.
journey for us. I love that we are paying this much money
Mhm.
for our president to do this much golfing. Love it.
For
Love it. Love it.
President Kinkles to golf. Yeah.
President Cankles. Sorry, Dictator Cankles.
Yes. And I don't even know how he's managing to stand up and swing a golf club.
So, in all fairness, I hate to say it, but okay. Also, this man has worn makeup his whole life.
Yes.
How is he still this bad at it? Like, you
You
saw
haven't employed anybody at this point to help you?
did you see the bruise that he's covering up on his hand and the
Yeah.
makeup that they put on it and how obvious it is?
Yeah. It was
Like,
like
at
me in
this
high school
point,
trying to cover up my acne.
right? And like, sir,
Yeah. Well,
pay someone the money. Like, have you
yes.
pissed off every makeup artist in the entire fucking world
Because you don't want to
that
pay
not
him.
not one girl at Sephora can be like, here's your fucking
Here's how
color
you
match,
blend.
dude.
Yes.
Yes.
And like airbrush. Can't you get
Yeah.
somebody to airbrush that shit for you? Well, but also I find it interesting that now he's actively trying to hide his hand when the cameras are
Oh,
around.
yeah.
Did you notice that yesterday at the press conference that he was
Oh,
giving
yeah.
in the Oval Office? Like he's
Yeah.
sitting with
He was sitting like this.
weirdly behind his desk, or like he had his hand covered like this if his hand was on top of his desk. I mean, he forgot for a minute, which is how they got the pictures, and because that bruises almost the entire back of his hand, which
I did not realize. So he is 79. That is the second oldest ever acting president, and he was the oldest elected president, if I remember correctly. Is that like
yes,
that?
he was. Yes,
That's
he was.
insanity.
Uh-huh.
That's
Well, and
insanity.
especially because like that's what they beat the drum about with Biden was that
Yeah.
he's too old, he's too
Well,
old, he's too old.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yes.
but what
We all
kills
know
me is
that.
that I saw a doctor on Instagram that was talking about the bruising on the hand, and he said like this is a clear sign that he's getting multiple IVs
Oh,
a day in his like they're lying to us about his health. They're lying to us about how bad he is.
well, to your point, I had to have iron infusions when I had anemia. And at one point they blew a vessel and it was the exact same type of like whole
Bruise.
hand covered in blood kind of
Yeah.
thing. And to your point, like at that time, yeah, I was getting multiple IVs and that's exactly what
Yeah.
happened.
And I know
I
like
saw,
older people bruise easy. You know what I mean?
yes. Oh, are you saying go fuck yourself?
I
Are you?
bruise easy. Yeah. But like at that age, like for sure. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
Because their
Well,
skin
to
is
your
so
point,
thin.
I saw a nurse that was on and she's like, it would not like, she said that who was it? She had she was a doctorate.
Mm.
She had like a nursing doctorate or whatever that is.
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
Mhm.
I don't know, but she was
Yeah.
very highly educated. And she
Yeah.
said she works with cardiologist patients every single day. And it would not at all shock her if he was dead in the next 6 to 8 months. It would not be at all surprising if she was dead
Yeah.
if he was dead in the next 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's
Yowzers.
talk about the occupation. And
Yeah.
yes, we have agreed to start calling it the occupation
Yep.
of Washington, D.C.
Yep.
So Trump still has his troops in D.C. There are now 2,200-ish, 2,234 as of Monday morning. This included 929 members of the D.C. National Guard, 1,305 members of the Louisiana, Mississippi, Ohio, and South Carolina, Tennessee, and West Virginia National Guards. Trump said Monday that they had over 1,000 arrests, but I think you and I both know that the last time we looked at those numbers, the arrests included all the ICE arrests.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't
And
like
people jumping the subway
Right.
fare thing, like whatever it was, like
Right. Exactly.
not quite the criminals that we're all looking for them to get off the streets.
Right. Not quite those criminals. Um, but now they are picking up trash.
Who
So
is
the
the
National
guard?
Guard,
Well, they're beautifying our national parks. I mean,
they're
that's what they're trained for,
beautifying.
right?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
what they're
So
trained for.
they said that they are now picking up trash, doing other beautification projects. I guess there was a group of them that were over by some trail heads and were picking up trash to make sure that it was all clean. And, they were that's part of the beautification projects around the city.
Oh my
Um,
god.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth on Friday ordered the authorization of roughly 2,000 National Guards to start carrying weapons.
Yep.
How do I think that's going to go?
I mean, I think they're carrying weapons as of today.
They
Like,
are. Yeah,
yeah,
they are.
I think that if I feel that this is we're beyond the tipping point. That's how I feel.
So
This,
I do
this
too, especially, yes, especially considering the fact that, like, these are not law enforcement officers. These are not
correct.
people trained to deal with law enforcement issues
Mhm.
with weaponry. They
Right.
are trained to be soldiers.
Right.
I am curious. I have, like, I know two National Guardsmen, but they're both big Trumpers, so I'm not inclined to ask them what their opinion is. But I got to be honest, I'm tempted to just ask, if you were sent to one of these cities and that was your job, was cleaning up trash, or it was enforcing local law, how would you feel about that? Because I feel like they wouldn't like it in either way. At least I know
Right.
I wouldn't if I was in the National
Right.
Guard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, and it's not. I mean, and like I understand that the whole dereliction of duty thing, they can't really refuse. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they can't refuse the orders,
No.
which is why it's such a slap in the face to all of our enlisted soldiers that this is what they're being used for, that they're being used in this manner in Trump's and and let's not give anybody a pass here. Trump and Hegseth and Stephen Miller and all of them in their petty little games of
Yep.
occupation and getting rid of the less than desirables.
Oh, yeah. Because that's what it is, especially
Mm-hmm.
when you're counting all of your ICE detentions as part of your total arrests during this occupation. You're there to pick up undesirables. Like, there's
And
no doubt about it.
yeah, and I
Um,
think them saying
yeah.
that, Chicago's next and then New York, like,
So
and the
Trump
blatant
held,
lying. Sorry, go ahead.
oh,
Go ahead.
no, for sure. Trump held a press conference on Monday, yesterday, where he signed a bunch of orders. But when he was asked about sending National Guard to Chicago, he said that, first of all, he started calling Pritzker a slob, which I cannot
Which
imagine
is old and tired.
a
Like, get over it.
president. Right. And I can't, I just like calling names. I just,
Oh, the
that,
fact that he's still doing it. I mean, he did it to Chris Christie. Like, he called Chris Christie sloppy and all. You know what I mean? Like, get the fuck over it, dude.
are you fucking serious?
Yeah,
And then he said that Chicago is a killing field.
a killing field.
Said everyone, and then he's like, as he's talking through it, he's like, everyone's calling me a dictator. Everyone's calling me a dictator, but I hate dictators, and I'm not a dictator. I'm a smart man with common sense. And then, like, 3 paragraphs later, he's talking about how he's the only one that can get along with Kim Jong Un, and he like knows him better than his sister. Okay, maybe not his sister, but better than anyone else. And I'm like literally, sir, it's been minutes since you just said you don't like dictators, and then you're talking about how close you are to a clearly known dictator. Like,
Right.
what the fuck?
And your obsession with Putin and your obsession with Orban, like this,
Yeah.
this is
Okay.
where. Hmm.
Then he goes on a rant about Beverly Hills. Did you hear this?
No, Beverly Hills.
I have friends. They leave their trunk open on for their car because they know it's going to be vandalized. They don't this they
What?
don't want their trunk ripped off in order for them to steal what's in their bag. They leave their doors open so when they go in to steal the radio or whatever they take, they don't rip off the door. They leave the doors totally open so the criminals, when they go and open the door, they don't have to break the windows and kill the car.
In Beverly Hills.
In Beverly Hills.
And kill the car.
And now, I don't know what killing. He starts talking about a garage that this guy had, a friend of his, a famous person, had his garage broken into so often, he just started leaving the door open so people could just steal stuff from his garage.
What? I did not see that part of the press conference. I'm disappointed I didn't see that. I'm very, what the fuck? What I did see, though, was when Stephen Miller was standing up there just blatantly fucking lying about how women can wear jewelry again, men can wear watches.
Watches again.
To walk around DC. And then I think it was Trump, but one of those fucking jackwagons standing up there was saying something about people were being murdered on the steps of the monuments. What? Like, what are you talking about?
What?
That's literally, I mean, I'm not saying it's not happening ever. It's not happening in the way they want everyone to believe that it's happening. And
obviously not.
He continues to say that he has the authority to declare crime out of control in any American city and storm in with the National Guard. And that's why he's called Chicago a killing field, because he knows that just like in DC, crime is down in Chicago, but he can't go in unless he's going to make those kind of outlandish claims. And
right. He has to make
to prove it before they storm into another city.
Right. He has to make it an emergency. Okay.
Yep.
But Gavin Newsom, who now has a huge platform, is firing back. Oh. He tweeted, Louisiana's murder rate is nearly 3 times higher than LA's. Fox News, when will you cover Mike Johnson's failure? His press office tweeted, referring to Speaker Johnson's home state. He then said, according to FBI and CDC data cited by Newsom's office, Los Angeles murder rate is 6.95 per 100K compared to Louisiana, which is 19.3 per 100K.
Holy shit.
He says, Arkansas's murder rate is 2.6 times higher than San Francisco, but Fox News won't tell you that, read another tweet.
Oh my God.
Over the weekend, Newsom also launched an online Patriot shop.
I didn't know about this.
Billed as the greatest merchandise ever made. The shop features MAGA spoofing merchandise like red caps that read, Newsom was right about everything.
Oh my God.
Trump is not hot, tank tops, and a Chosen One t-shirt depicting a saintly Newsom flanked by Hulk Hogan, Kid Rock, and Tucker Carlson.
Oh my God, this is great. I
know.
Love this.
I know. Newsom promoted the shop with a picture of a Trump-like flag that read, Make America Gavin Again, tweeting, soon MAGA will have a whole new meaning. Then he tweets out, many people to call him Gavin Christopher Columbus Newsom because of the maps. Thank you for your attention to this matter. That was my favorite tweet over the weekend.
My God, this is fucking great.
I know. Honestly, this is fucking great. I like Gavin Newsom has redeemed himself. You know, I was reading an article. I feel like it was on USA Today, but it might've been somewhere else. That was like, you know, Michelle Obama said in her speech, when they go low, we go high. And Democrats have resoundingly said, absolutely not. Like, we're done with this. Yeah. Newsom told Fox LA when asked about his new media approach in an interview, I've changed. The facts have changed. We Democrats need to change. I'm not just trolling MAGA. We're proving to Democrats that stepping off your digital high horse and entering the phrase both messy and worth it, said Stephen Smith, a digital strategist who was an online engagement director on Pete Buttigieg's campaign. I couldn't agree more. The one thing that Gavin Newsom is doing is by far showing us that we have to change. We have to change as a group if we're going to get any attention. And definitely our online presence is a big part of that. So I thought that was pretty.
I love JB Pritzker giving his press conference.
Girl,
don't come here. Like,
yes,
we will, and threatening other states with, if you allow the National Guard from your state to infiltrate Chicago, we will respond in kind. And I'm like, oh fuck. Like, but this is what we need. Because I am frustrated with, where's Barack Obama? Where's Bill Clinton? Where is George W. Bush? Like, why are you so silent? And maybe I shouldn't be putting that much pressure on them. I don't know. There just has to be more of what's happening. You know what I mean? And like,
Yeah. Well, and to your point, the one thing that we should have learned from this last election is that information is shared online, period.
yeah,
Like if you want to get attention, so to your point, there are plenty of people having interviews and getting on cable news and, whatever,
yeah,
and even being on like late night shows. But
yeah,
the fact of the matter is that if you are not posting and tweeting and
yes,
making shorts and making videos. Like I
yes,
remember the very first video I saw of AOC was her dancing in the halls of like
yeah,
I'm
yes,
sorry to say, but that is how people are getting their news. And if you're not coming for that,
yeah.
I'm sorry, no one has time for you. Like I read an article, and we'll talk about it in a second, on the Cracker Barrel logo change.
Oh,
That was like, oh, MAGA world hates it. And then they're like, and Democrats hate it too. And the DNC had posted a post that said, we don't like the new logo either. And I was like, at least they responded. Like at least they
yeah.
showed up to the conversation.
I
Like,
guess, yeah,
can we
yeah,
not get better than this? But at least they posted something online. Because to your point, I don't have any clue what Barack Obama is saying about any
right,
of this, because he has
right,
said not a
no,
goddamn fucking
yeah,
word. He's nowhere to be found.
yeah,
And the only one that I regularly see posting is Pete Buttigieg, who is
mm-hmm.
on the late night shows. And so it shows up in my rhythm because I watch The Daily Show. I watch Stephen
Yeah,
Colbert. I watch Seth Meyers. I watch John Oliver. Like I watch all of those, and he's been on all of those. But otherwise, I'm hearing nothing from any of
nothing,
them. You are
nothing,
1000% correct.
yeah.
So the other weird stuff that Donald Trump said.
Oh God, tell me, tell
So
me.
he was talking about the problems with Illinois,
Oh, the
and
killing
he
field.
started talking about the very violent China carp
What?
that is taking over the Great Lakes.
I was getting ready to ask. Carp like a fish.
Yeah. I didn't believe it
Okay.
either. I didn't believe it. And then when he said Great Lakes, I was like Great Lakes or Great Lakes? No, he means like the
Lake
Great
Michigan?
Lakes.
Okay.
He said, we have a very pretty violent fish that has, it comes from China, the China carp, the Chinese carp. And you see them jumping out. They just jump into boats and they jump all over the place. They have a lot of energy.
A lot of energy. They're kind of like the spawning salmon that jump into the bear mouths in Alaska. Like, you know what I mean? They just have
Yes.
they have ADHD. They've
Yes.
got a lot of energy.
But the China carp are taking over the
Lake
Great
Michigan.
Lakes, and our Illinois governor is doing nothing about it. So I don't know if his plan is to now send in the national troops to clean
start
up the
fishing?
China carp.
Start trying to fish them all out.
I guess.
Oh, what the
Okay.
fuck?
Other crazy ass shit he said yesterday. He said that Maryland Governor Wes Moore told him privately that he was the greatest president of his lifetime. Did you see Governor Moore's response on
I did
X?
see it. Right.
LOL. Like,
Yes.
der.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
he said that he's prevented 7 wars, but actually it's 10 because they stopped Iran's nuclear plans.
Oh, I want to know what 7 wars he's potentially stopped.
I don't know. But then he said, and this one, I have not, I'm trying to figure out where he got this information, but he said that Africa loves him.
The continent?
Africa loves him because he ended a 35 years long war between Rwanda and the Republic of Congo, where 9 people were killed by machetes. And he supposedly ended that war.
Years? 9
I
people
don't know what he's talking about. Do you?
35 years. No. I like how we're both typing.
I know. So there's like the Democratic Republic of Congo, Rwanda conflict, which was 3 years long. And
oh my God, my AI is like, this fact is incorrect. The claim was made by Donald Trump and has been fact-checked and debunked by multiple news outlets. He was likely conflating the country with the decades-long conflict in the neighboring Democratic Republic of Congo.
There you go.
Yeah, I was going to say, 9 million. 94.
Do you know how long it would take to kill 9 million people with machetes? Well, I guess 35 years is a long time. So
I thought you said 9. I didn't hear 9 million. I thought
9
you said
million?
9 people died by machete attacks in 35 years. I was like, well, those are actually pretty good odds. I'm just like,
those are good stats. Yeah.
35 years is, I mean, like,
no, he ended a 35-year-long war between Rwanda and Congo where 9 million people had been killed, mostly by machetes.
Call bullshit.
Then he says he wants to change the name of the Department of Defense back to the Department of War.
But he made it sound like he didn't know that it used to be called the Department of War.
So someone had to tell him we should change it but his reasoning was, I want to focus on offense instead of defense. And then the director of the U.S. Marshal gave him a medal.
For what?
I'm sorry. Gave him an honorary U.S. Marshal badge. And Nicole, can I tell you? Yes. It looked like something you buy from a gas station.
Shut up. It probably looked like the one that I wore to your house when I pretended to be an FBI agent raiding Mar-a-Lago for the Halloween party.
Yours was nicer. Now, this one was solid gold because anything you give Trump has to be solid gold. Yeah. But it was literally like a star-shaped badge. And it had a little pocket that had a key to handcuffs.
Well, remember a couple of podcasts ago, we were talking about the pardons, and he pardoned that one fucking guy that deputized like a whole bunch of his goddamn friends in that town. And then they were just like doing all kinds of illegal shit. Like,
yeah.
This is why, oh my God.
I know. Bitches be crazy. Okay, so that was yesterday. The Chinese carp was my favorite.
Just yesterday.
But that was yesterday. But he signed some executive orders as well.
Yesterday? Okay.
So the two things that he was really, really focused on were cashless bail policies.
Which I don't understand.
Burning the flag. So cashless, yes, I know. Yeah, so he basically said the reason why we have so much crime is that jurisdictions will allow criminals.
I mean, they are.
Yeah, criminals to be released on like know your criminal programs, and they can offer up. They
can put their house or their car or whatever collateral.
Right. Instead of actually paying cash. And that this is leading to.
Nobody's got $10,000 or $50,000 sitting around in cash.
Right. Exactly. Which it's funny because do you remember when he got arrested? Like everyone was like, is he going to be able to make bail? Like it was a big thing.
Yeah. Call Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Right. And so he basically like cuts off federal funding to any state that offers a cashless bail program. And then in Washington, D.C., he basically said, what we're going to do is have all criminals put into federal detention facilities so that they're no longer allowed cashless bail through the policies of Washington, D.C.
Can you put someone who's not been charged with a federal crime in a federal detention facility?
I don't know. And I'll be honest, I'll tell you, I'm going by the description that he gave.
Yeah.
And so I have to read it to really understand what it said. Because to your point, like the way he made it sound was like, because he was like, oh yeah, DC jails are the worst jails in the world and people get to ball, like just saying shit. So to your point, he gets these executive orders, he says shit, but
Uh-huh.
they're not actually what's in the executive order. So I have not read it yet because this was just fucking yesterday.
Yeah, he's like,
But
we're sending everybody to Leavenworth.
Right, exactly right. Okay, and then he wrote an executive order that enabled the Secretary of Defense to bring in more troops to DC. But then he put in an executive order, and this one I did read because my kid like freaked out about it. That he basically is trying to ban flag burning. And he said that like people are very passionate when they see people burning flags, generally by paid radical left protesters,
Of
right?
course.
Because radical left, I'm
Who
paying
else
so
would it
many
be?
people.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Yes.
I'll burn the flag if I
Burn
want
it
to.
myself. Yeah.
Um, so my kid was like, so is it a federal crime? So Trump said yesterday during the process that anyone that burns a flag is going to go to jail for a year, no questions asked, no opportunity to not go to jail. But really, when you read it, like so this is what I think Reuters had to say about it. Trump's order does not make flag burning a crime or assesses a penalty for it. But instead, it basically says that if you burn the flag in a way that incites discourse or acts as fighting words, that it should not be constitutionally protected under the First Amendment. And this is important because in 1989, there was a Supreme Court ruling that came through, 5-4, that said burning the flag is constitutionally allowed under freedom of speech. And that's what this executive order is saying, is that is no longer going to be covered.
I think I saw a video that they arrested a veteran either late yesterday or today burning a flag.
Yeah.
Because the veterans are like protesting, sitting in or whatever in DC over the National Guard.
Yes. So he was across the street from the White House. You're right. It was like within 22 hours of signing or whatever. He lit a flag. But what they arrested, just put in all those extra syllables, arrested him for was igniting a fire in a public park. So he wasn't actually arrested for burning a flag. He was arrested for starting a fire in a public park. So, and he was turned over to the park
The National
police.
Guard is there to clean up.
Right. Exactly. They're pissed. Now it's going to cause ash and they've got more shit to clean up. That's exactly right. So that was an interesting, because that like AJ's like, did you hear that? Like, I mean, he was ready to like, let's go burn a fucking flag. Like he's mad about this.
Yeah.
And I was like, calm down. Like it's different than the way Trump describes it, which shocking.
Because he always has to remind everybody that he's the biggest badass in the room.
Exactly right. Well, he's got a brand new badge to show that.
That's so true. He does.
Like it's a thing you give like a 7-year-old.
Right.
I remember I bought AJ a badge that said Jackson on it when he was like 7.
Well, it's like the airplane wings that pilots will give little kids.
Yes.
You were an honorary pilot today.
Yes. Okay. All right. So let's move from talking about Trump and his crazy executive orders to immigration.
Okay.
I saw that Garcia was arrested again.
He was, yes.
Okay, so tell me more about, because I also heard that a judge is basically saying, absolutely, you will not fucking deport him to El Salvador.
So they tried to bribe him.
By sending him to Costa Rica, is that right?
Yeah, so they sorry, I'm trying to get to my thing on it because I have something really good I need to share about immigration. Do not let me forget.
Okay.
I had something that I just fucking blew my mind. Yeah, so they arrested him during his check-in in Baltimore. He was taken into federal custody yesterday morning. So they tried to, in essence, I'm going to use the word bribe. They tried to bribe him with being deported to Costa Rica as long as he would agree to plead guilty to the charges that they are now bringing against him, which and they want him to plead guilty without any kind of court case. They just, this was the thing. We'll send you to Costa Rica. It's beautiful there. Have you ever been to Costa Rica? Let's go. Go on to Costa Rica. We just need you to plead guilty to these, to these charges that may or may not be accurate. Shockingly, he said, thanks, but no thanks. So then they get in court and they say, now he's going to Uganda. And so when the judge found out about it, the judge said, oh no, he's not going anywhere until we have a court hearing, because they wanted to send his ass to Uganda until there could be a court hearing or whatever. They wanted to immediately deport him. And the judge was like, absolutely not. So it's very clear that they're trying to shake him down because if he had pled guilty, they'd have been like, see, we had every right to send him to CCOT.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Yes. So the judge said, oh no, his attorneys have said that the move was coercive and vindictive. Them, saying that they were then going to send him to Uganda instead of Costa Rica. So,
what's the other thing that you said you had?
Okay, so let me find it. Hold on, because it's in all my shit with. Okay, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
The Independent is reporting that Kristi Noem is pushing ICE to purchase and operate its own fleet of deportation planes using funds from Trump's $75 billion immigration enforcement budget, a move that could potentially double monthly deportations to 30 to 35,000, but cost billions in aircraft purchases and maintenance. Because right now they have to rely on chartered planes. So she wants them to have their own fucking fleet of planes that they can use anytime they want to deport people anytime they want to. So she is saying owning 30 jets would give the agency greater control, though critics warn it would saddle ICE with steep staffing, compliance, and upkeep responsibilities. She wants the planes that ICE can use to fly immigrants to their home countries, which who believes that? Because we have yet to do that.
Well, we know that.
Yeah. In order to help achieve the Trump administration's deportation quota. Equipped with its own planes, ICE could potentially be able to deport twice as many people every month, is what the officials are telling the Independent. So, yeah.
That doesn't surprise me at all. Honestly, that doesn't surprise me at all. That they could be, because that's the name of the game, is get out as many brown people as we can possibly get out. Yeah.
Commercial aircraft could cost anywhere from $80 million to $400 million. So buying 30 of them with that price tag would amount to $2.4 billion to $12 billion. Aviation experts at the Pilot Institute say, and they train people to become pilots. So they're like, this is going to be astronomical. So ICE spent $100,000 to $200,000 on each of their charter flights. We only ever had 13 to 14 planes because of the amount of money and resources. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So she wants them to have their own whole fleet of planes.
Well, it especially does not surprise me since they are basically having to shut down Alligator Alcatraz.
Alligator Alcatraz, yep.
So I was reading that I guess where they built Alligator Alcatraz is in the middle of the Miccosukee Indian village.
Okay.
And that the Miccosukee, I hope I'm saying this right, but if I'm not, I apologize. They basically sued them and said, hey, this area is sacred to us. You can't build this here. And the federal judge said, yeah, get it the fuck out. And that's why they're dismantling it, which I'm like, good. I know. I think that's fantastic, especially because to that point, like what kind of balls, like, so I lived in Seattle for several years. And while I was there, like there are just several Native American reservations around us. And that land is sacred, like sacred. And nobody, like everyone knows it. Right. So the fact that that's not the case in Florida and like, we're like, oh, we're just going to build here is insane to me. It's insane to me that they did that.
Well, and I think DeSantis was like, of course we knew this was going to happen. Like, of course, because, this is, I'm sure he's saying it's some liberal judge, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. But I think it took longer to build Alligator Alcatraz than it was open. I swear to God, I think they worked longer on building that motherfucking place than it was actually open and operated. I heard that they're building another one in Nebraska.
In Nebraska, yeah. It's hold on, let me find it. I have too much shit and I can't scroll through all of it. Okay, so yes. They've opened a migrant detention facility in Nebraska. I don't know where in Nebraska. They're nicknaming it the Cornhusker Clink. It's going to house criminal illegal aliens arrested by ICE, according to DHS in their press release. The detention center came as a result of a partnership between the Nebraska Department of Correctional Services and ICE, expanding the capacity by up to 280 beds. Oh, it's the officials are using the existing minimum security prison work camp in McCook, Nebraska, which is 210 miles west of Lincoln. Their governor is very excited about it.
And what kills me is entering the country illegally is a misdemeanor.
It's not.
It's a misdemeanor. Like, to your point, you can come visit.
Right.
Staying in the country,
like visa is,
right. Yeah. It's like, are you serious? Anyway, we know.
Yeah, no, their governors announced Tuesday that the Nebraska National Guard will provide administrative and logistical support to ICE officials based in Nebraska to help enforce immigration law. 20 Army National Guard soldiers will be a part of the mission, with training beginning next week. I'm also proud that the Nebraska State Patrol and National Guard will be assisting ICE enforcement efforts as well, he said in a statement. Homeland Security starts at home, and just as when I twice deployed troops to secure our southern border during the failed Biden administration, Nebraska will continue to do its part.
Of course. Good.
And Missouri's going to be the same way. When it happens
of course
here,
we are.
Because it's going to happen here.
We are.
It'll be the same fucking way.
Yes, of course we are. Okay, the other big news that has been happening, of course, recently is the redistricting of Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of states that are fucked up. Yes. So we know the Texas legislature passed the new map last week. Their goal is giving Republicans 5 more seats in Congress. California's legislature obviously responded back. They responded with its very own map, expecting to give Democrats 5 more seats as well. The NAACP has suing the state of Texas over its obviously racist redistricting maps. Here's what Derek Johnson, president and CEO of the NAACP, said in a statement. The state of Texas is only 40% white, but white voters control over 73% of the state's congressional seats. It's quite obvious that Texas's efforts to redistrict mid-decade before next year's midterm elections is racially motivated. The state's intent here is to reduce the members of Congress who represent Black communities, and that in and of itself is unconstitutional. So Texas Republicans have come out and said it has nothing to do with race. It's all about redistricting. It's all about giving Republicans an edge. Like they're very bold. They're very straightforward. They say it clearly. But the fact of the matter is that race is a partisan issue. Like, by redistricting primarily to white voters, you are primarily redistricting to Republican voters, because traditionally brown people have voted Democratic. So I get the fact, like, even if you don't mean to, you are definitely. So here's where, if God is at all listening, can you imagine a world, and don't get me wrong, California is getting sued as well, not for being racist. Can you imagine a world where California gets its 5 additional seats, but Texas is declared unconstitutional and loses its redistricting and loses those extra 5 seats? And now Democrats have a clear 5-vote lead. Can you imagine?
They'll shit themselves. I mean,
I'll shit myself. I'd be so excited. I'd shit myself. I'll shit myself on this podcast. I would be so fucking excited.
Oh my God.
Like, I don't have a gallbladder. I can do it. I can do it.
I don't have a gallbladder. Don't make me. I will do it.
I will do it.
I do find it comical that they want to say that the that the redistricting has nothing to do with race. That's like saying when Louisiana and Mississippi were closing down polling stations and leaving one polling station in primarily Black and brown communities where there was also a lack of bus service so that
Right.
people could not get to the polling station because the only one that was open and available was a long way from a lot of their homes and like it's always about race.
It
It's
is.
always about that. It's always
And
about disenfranchising the least among us. That's why they do what they do.
that's exactly right. Because to your point, they would say it has nothing to do with race. It has everything to do with how these people vote. But the fact of the matter is that these people vote the way they do because of their race and what
Right.
you do to fight
To
them
them.
and
Yeah.
what's best for them. So it's just a bunch of, but yeah, I would absolutely die if that is what ends up
That would be
happening. That
hilarious.
like the likelihood is obviously not there, but can you imagine a world
That
where
would be
California succeeds in adding 5 additional seats, then Texas loses theirs? I mean, it would be insane.
great.
Speaking of losing their fucking ever fucking mind, I want to spend 2 seconds on Cracker Barrel.
Oh my God, yes. What the fuck is going on? I don't understand.
I don't know. Cracker Barrel announced last week that they were going to go to a logo with an old timer to a logo that was just plain. And that they were going to modernize their restaurant to like remove the clutter and make it a little nicer.
Mm-hmm.
MAGA lost their minds.
Has lost their minds. Like, I don't get it. It's so
like,
bizarre to me.
I know. So Mark's cousin is MAGA. We know this. I've told you that. And he posted something about the change in logo, which I don't understand what this means, but he posted something about it and someone put go woke and go broke. And I'm like, how is modernizing woke?
Because they got rid of the old white guy that was on the logo?
Right.
So now it's woke? It's
right.
Not like, it's not like it was
all of us Democrats are not calling for the removal of the old timer from the Cracker Barrel logo. Like, what the fuck?
I don't give a shit. Like,
no,
I don't. It's not like it was a Confederate statue that's been taken down. And so now they're woke because they got rid of, like, this is a corporation that has decided to make a branding change.
Like Taco Bell changed their logo. The boomers didn't come for them.
Yeah.
Right. Like we've seen other places.
I remember the boomers being pissed, like when Aunt Jemima and the
Native
American lady on the Land O'Lakes butter, like, but I just find this shit weird. The obsession
I do too.
So weird.
And it's so hypocritical when they say we're the snowflakes.
Yes, 1,000%.
Like, no one on the left was, I even like finally it was either Seth Meyers or John Oliver, someone was like, the Sydney Sweeney stuff, nobody gives a fucking two shits about this. Like, nobody cared about it. Nobody in mainstream media, nobody in mainstream politics gave two shits about Sydney Sweeney. Right. But the fact that I have heard from multiple MAGAs in Mark's family that they didn't like the logo and it was woke is just like, this is what you care about. Like, this is really what we care about.
You're worried about this, but you're not worried about the fact that we have the National Guard occupying a city in our country. You're not worried about that? That should really fucking concern you well beyond Cracker Barrel deciding to rebrand.
Right. Right.
And this is and to your point, like, for their company. Nobody forced them to do this.
Right. And to your point, like, of all the times, like, do you really? And so now today they've come back and they're like, okay, we heard you. You don't like the new logo. We'll change it back.
Shut up.
Okay. Like, who cares?
Oh my God.
But people lost their mind. They had to respond. They had to put something out on social. I'm like,
oh my
okay,
God. Thank
y'all.
God, at least the boomers aren't gonna have to protest the restaurant now and
That's
have
right.
to find somewhere else to go for breakfast.
Yes, that is right. I want to say a quick word
Okay.
about Lisa Cook. So Lisa Cook is the governor is a governor on the Federal Reserve Board. She was supposedly fired by Trump last week because of what he claims is massive fraud, but really it's an unsubstantiated claim from someone else that she listed two different residences as her primary residence on two different loan
Yeah.
applications. Generally board members serve 14-year terms. They do that so that it isn't like controlled by anything partisan and protects like the comfort in the US dollar and in our currency and all of that. So firing her allows Trump to appoint 7 new board members to the Federal Reserve Bank, which gives him a majority over the Federal Reserve so that he can fight for lowering interest
And
rates.
he
Like
can
that's all he cares
he
about
can
is
get
lowering
rid of
interest
Powell.
rates.
Yeah.
She has said she is going to sue him
Good.
if he fires her. He made a comment like she was gone, and the Federal Reserve is like, she's not gone. You can't fire him. Like,
Yeah,
no.
I was going to ask. He doesn't have the authority, right?
No. And technically, so Trump said on Monday that Cook's firing was effective immediately. But if the Fed came out and made a statement that said Cook's status is unchanged, that's not going to happen. But
Jerome Powell's like,
Lisa
remember
Cook,
that building that you were including when we were
right,
this is kind of like that building that was
right,
already done like 5 years ago.
right. And so now Cook has said she will sue Trump if she ends up getting fired. So we're keeping an eye on this. We're monitoring it for sure.
Yeah.
And of course, like this is causing volatility in the markets because other, right. There's no faith in, right. Exactly. You're fucking around and finding out. The other item that I thought was crazy is, and you and I talked about this, John Bolton, Trump's former national security advisor for his first term, had his home and office searched by the FBI last week. Yep. Of course, they haven't said why. They said it's related to classified documents, but they haven't really said why. And let's be honest, we all know it's because Trump's pissed that this guy keeps commenting about his foreign policy on Ukraine. He did come out this week and wrote an op-ed in the Washington Examiner that said, Donald Trump's Ukraine policy today is no more coherent than it was last Friday when his administration executed search warrants against my home and office. Collapsing in confusion and haste, Trump's negotiations may be in their last throes, along with his Nobel Peace Prize campaign, which I thought was fucking hilarious.
That is hilarious.
Trump told reporters last week that he's not a fan of John Bolton. He's a real lowlife, but he doesn't know why the FBI is raiding his home.
Yeah, I don't believe that for a second.
No fucking shit. We all know why. Trump's pissed at him, and so he came up with some bullshit story to do it.
I do love that Patel tweeted out that no one is above the law and then tagged the FBI agents in the tweet and said at FBI agents on mission as the raid was literally unfolding. And like from some of the stuff I was reading, like when I was reading some articles on the Hill, they were saying like typically if you believe that you've got all this evidence about, whatever, they would have contacted his attorneys. They would have said, we need to come into the house. We need to do that. Like all these things, but they didn't do that. They pretty much served a no knock warrant and fucking kicked the goddamn door in at daybreak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just,
well, you and I have watched enough Real Housewives that we know that like there's plenty of rumors swirling, search warrants and arrests and like that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So to your point, Trump had previously canceled Bolton's security clearance and security detail despite an Iranian assassination plot. He served as a U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. Yeah. I mean, this guy is no joke, and Trump is just fucking all over the place with him.
Yeah. Well, and then Trump making the comment that like, well, they raided my house and they took my stuff. And so like then, cause he literally said like, I didn't know anything about it to a reporter and then immediately said, well, but they raided my house. Like, okay, you just told on yourself, dumbass.
Right. And you had classified documents. there were pictures of classified documents in your home. Come on.
Yes. All over your house.
That's right. And at this point, if there had been classified documents and they would have found anything, we would have heard it by now. So clearly they found dick all. Nothing. They found nothing, or we would be hearing about it now.
Yep.
The last thing that I want to talk about is the thing that I want to make sure doesn't leave our consciousness, and that's the Epstein files.
Yes.
A Republican-led committee has subpoenaed documents from Epstein's estates, including the birthday book. So we will hopefully get a chance to actually see whether or not Trump was in the birthday book. The subpoena came from James Comer, the leader of the House Oversight Committee, represents an expansion of his investigation into Epstein, the disgraced late pedophile financier. The president, of course, said the note was fake in his birthday book, but the Journal, the Journal has basically said, absolutely, it is not fake. We stand by it. We are sure that it happens. The subpoena asks that the executors of the estate provide all entries contained within the reported leather-bound book compiled by Miss Maxwell. It gave a deadline of September 8th for the item to be turned over. A lawyer for the Epstein estate confirmed that it got the request, said the executors would comply. Among other papers, it also requests any non-disclosure agreements executed by Epstein and over a 3-decade period, and his will preceding his death in jail in 2019. It demands any documents or records that could be reasonably construed to be a potential list of clients involved in a sex acts, or sex trafficking. And it has been suggested that unreleased Epstein files could contain a so-called client list. So we'll see if we get something, but at least getting the book with the letter that confirms Donald Trump's an asshole would be
but don't
a wonderful birthday present for me.
Yeah, but don't you worry. She said that he was a perfect gentleman.
Oh, of course she did. Of course she did. Yes.
Because we're going to totally believe the person that is actively seeking out a pardon from this administration.
Exactly right. Yes, exactly right. Okay. The other topic that we have on our list involves the person I think I hate the most in the world right now, which is RFK Jr.
Oh, yeah.
You have a story about the American Academy of Pediatrics and vaccines?
Yes.
Okay. So give us that story.
They are recommending, this is straight off their website, they are recommending that all young children aged 6 to 23 months get vaccinated against COVID, along with older children in certain risk groups, based on evidence on who can benefit the most from the vaccine. The guidance is differing from federal policy in that it removes routine recommendations for healthy children but allows vaccination after a conversation with the healthcare provider. So they published their recommendation last Tuesday, along with a revised child and adolescent immunization schedule that also includes updated guidance on RSV immunizations and the flu vaccine. So the chair of the American Academy of Pediatrics Committee on Infectious Diseases, his name is Sean O'Leary, said, "It's clear that we're in a different place in the pandemic than we were 4 or 5 years ago in terms of risks to healthy older kids. However, the risk of hospitalization for young children and those with high-risk conditions remains high. The rate of COVID hospitalization for children under 2 is the highest among pediatric age groups, and for children ages 6 to 23 months, it's comparable to people aged 50 to 64 years old."
Good Lord. So that's the thing. Like, now there are all these new strands of COVID.
Yep.
So my boss just got COVID again. I guess he's had it 5 times.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Can you imagine having it that often? Like, I would. Yeah. And like, I swear to God. So every time someone tells me they have COVID, I feel like it changes. So it doesn't surprise me that it's just like the flu. They say there are different strands of the flu. There are different strands of COVID. It does not surprise me at all that they're like, get fucking vaccinated.
Yeah, I mean, in early July, the American Academy of Pediatrics and other major medical groups sued HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. for unilaterally removing routine vaccination recommendations without scientific evidence. They've also been critical of Kennedy replacing members of the CDC's Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices with new people who have espoused anti-vaccine viewpoints. The AAP announced in June that it would continue to publish its own vaccine recommendations and schedule. It has a long history of providing evidence-based guidance on vaccines. So they are actively taking a stand against RFK Jr. and the HHS, saying, if you have children under this age, they need to be vaccinated. And if you have a healthy child that potentially is around a community that is at risk, older adults, somebody else in the home is immunocompromised, those kind of things, they also need to be vaccinated.
Yeah.
Everyone else, it's at your discretion, talk to your doctor, but this is what we're recommending.
Do you still get vaccinated for COVID?
So I last got vaccinated in 23, right before I got COVID for the first time.
Oh, that's
No,
right.
in 24. No. No, that's not right. This is 25, right? Yeah, no,
Yeah.
23. In the fall of 23. But I did not get vaccinated for it last year. It fucks with my arthritis so bad.
Oh,
I'm
that's right.
down for like 2 fucking days after I get the COVID vaccine. But I did it every time I could from 2020 up through 23 was the last time that I got it. And then I didn't get it last year. And I don't think I'll get it this year just because the flu vaccine
It's
kind of does it to me a little bit, but the fucking COVID vaccine kills me. Yeah.
yeah.
So I probably won't get vaccinated for it again this year.
Yeah.
But
I
I will
forgot
get
it
my
messes
flu
with
shot.
arthritis.
But my flu shot, I already have it scheduled. I'm doing that in October.
Yeah, I'll do both the COVID and the flu shot in October.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, well, I hope that the American Academy of Pediatrics absolutely, like, their
Yeah.
doctors, please listen to them. Please
Yes.
acknowledge the fact that they are not out trying to harm children,
Right.
whereas RFK Jr. has a, political motivation to be the dipshit that he is.
Correct.
Okay, the other person that sucks balls, Elon Musk, you have a story
Yeah.
about him.
I do. Let me tell you really quick. Okay, hold on. Let me just find it. Okay. Okay. CNBC is reporting. Hold, please. Okay. CNBC is reporting that Elon Musk was ordered last Wednesday. I'm sorry, this cracks me up. By a federal judge to face a lawsuit by voters accusing him of defrauding them into signing a petition to support the Constitution for a chance to win his $1 million a day giveaway. So, a district judge out of Austin, Texas, said that Jacqueline McCafferty plausibly alleged in her proposed class action that Musk and his Political Action Committee, America PAC, wrongly induced her to provide personal identifying information as part of the giveaway late in the 24 election campaign. Lawyers for Musk and America PAC did not immediately respond to requests for comment. McCafferty, an Arizona resident, said Musk and America PAC induced voters in 7 battleground states to sign his petition by promising that $1 million recipient would be chosen randomly as in a lottery, though the voters had no real chance of ever collecting the money.
Why? Why did they not have no chance of collecting?
She said voters who signed were required to provide names, addresses, email addresses, and phone numbers. In seeking a dismissal, Musk listed several red flags as proof he had not run an illegal lottery. He said these included the statement that the $1 million recipients were selected to earn the money and expected to become America PAC spokespeople, defeating the idea that the payment was a prize. But the judge cited other statements suggesting the defendants were awarding the $1 million and the money could be won. It's possible that plaintiff justifiably relied on those statements to believe that defendants were objectively offering her the chance to enter a random lottery, even if that is not what they subjectively intended to do. Musk has also rejected the suggestion that petition signers suffered harm by providing contact information. The lawsuit was filed on Election Day, November 5th. A day earlier, a Philadelphia judge refused to end Musk's giveaway, saying that the city's top prosecutor failed to show it was an illegal lottery. So, we'll see. We'll see. I think it's interesting that at least somebody's got the stones to attempt it.
Well, especially like if there's one thing that we can do, it's fucking sue the shit out of that America's PAC and take away all their funding. Because that's where all their power is in the money. So sue them and take their money away.
And because he's trying to cozy up to Vance now. He's backed off. I read an article on this that he's backed off on, how he was saying, I'm going to create my own independent party, third party, blah, 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 to run against the Democrats and the Republicans and whatever. He's backed off of that now, and he's cozying up to Vance.
Of course he is. Of course he is.
And Vance is stupid enough to fall for it because he's a pick
There's
me.
no
Like,
falling for it. He's like, yeah, pay me. I want to be in power. Like, that's the reality.
Yeah.
And
Vance is stupid
it's,
enough to just let him. I mean, they know that he's weak, so he's an easy
yes,
mark to use.
right. To your point, like, I just can't believe that the average MAGA voter listened to Donald Trump run on the drain the swamp message
Yes.
when everything he's done has pointed to doing the exact opposite.
Yes.
And they're fine with it.
Uh-huh.
I have to believe in my soul, though, that once Donald Trump dies,
It breaks the
which
cold.
maybe will be in the next 6 to 8 months, who knows,
Yeah.
does the MAGA movement, like, we know, like, right, when Hitler died, how quick did Nazism die with him? You know what I'm saying? Now, his was a little different because, of course, they lost a war and they now, you know what I'm saying? So, but I'm curious how quickly after Trump dies is the MAGA movement really going to die?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway. Okay. Well, I love hearing that Elon Musk is getting sued. I love hearing that the America PAC is getting sued. I love to hear the fact that the American Academy of Pediatrics is giving Robert F. Kennedy Jr. the old fuck
Yes.
you. All
Yes.
of that is delightful to end this
Yeah.
birthday eve.
That's
But
exactly right. You want your
I really cannot wait for my
happy ending?
happy ending. Happy
Okay.
birthday ending.
Your happy birthday ending. So our happy ending today is coming from dual continents. It's coming
Okay.
from England and from the United States.
Okay.
So, two 10-year-old girls just defeated chess grandmasters on separate continents hours apart. Really? It's fucking amazing. Two 10-year-old girls have recently conquered one of the world's oldest board games. It started at the 2025 British Chess Championships in Liverpool, England, earlier this month. London's Bodhana, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce her last name. She's 10 years old, 10 years, 5 months, and 3 days. She beat 60-year-old Grandmaster Pete Wells to become the youngest female ever to defeat a chess grandmaster. She's
Wow.
on course to be one of the best British players ever, according to the manager of the England chess team. Bodhana, who started playing chess during the COVID pandemic, previously won 3 world championships in the under 8 age group. But Bodhana is not the only female chess player making recent headlines. A few hours after she defeated the British Grandmaster in England, 10-year-old Kaya Job beat American Grandmaster Brian Smith at a chess tournament in Akron, Ohio.
How old
Um,
is he? Do you know, Brian?
They didn't say.
Oh,
She recorded the victory at the age of 10 years, 9 months, and 2 days to become the youngest American female ever to defeat a grandmaster. The Ohio resident also began playing chess during the pandemic, and in addition to chess, Kaya is a black belt in Taekwondo as well and a top-ranked table tennis player in the state. She plans to compete in the Ohio Chess Congress competition at the end of the month and will likely have many other highlights in her future.
that is awesome.
Isn't that great? I know, I love it.
But
Yes.
I can't believe, like, what are these kids doing that at 10 years old they are beating grandmaster chess players? Like,
Yes.
I'm trying to think who I was at 10, because what's that, like 5th grade?
Yes.
Like, I think of AJ at 5th grade,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, God, you know, I think of him as, like, in the 5th grade, he was just into so many things, but he was so hyper focused. So I'm wondering if that's what it is. Like in the 5th grade, AJ was super, super hyper focused, if I'm remembering correctly, on like the Titanic. He got into the Titanic real big.
Yeah,
and then he hyper focused on like World War II.
Mm-hmm.
And then he kind of got out of it, and now he's kind of back to like World War II. Like he's been watching like Hacksaw Ridge or whatever. Do these kids, is that what's happening? Is like, and it's funny because they say that the, increase in like electronics has really impacted our ability to focus.
Mm-hmm.
But when our kids want to focus on something, like they really can focus. And I remember as a kid, I would focus on things like that as well. I remember like when Twister came out, I got real big into Twister, and like I was going to be a storm chaser, and like that's all I focused. Like that was my focus for what. Like so I get that happens.
No,
But I'm just
like
like,
in fifth
is
grade,
that what happened with these kids? Like, did they
maybe.
get so focused on chess that this is how
I don't
they've
know.
learned to be so good?
Like in fifth grade, I was reading my babysitter club books and
Me
my
too.
Sweet Valley High books. Like
That
that's
was
what
my
I was
favorite.
focused on. You know what I mean? But no, and it's interesting because for them to have both clearly the pandemic and being at home, their parents must have been like there has to have been a parent or somebody in the house that played chess that said, "Hey, let's do this." But, I don't know, and then they just took to it. Like Riley and Jamie will play chess. I've tried. I figured out I am not. It is. It makes me feel very stupid.
Does it?
Yeah, I'm not strategic enough. I don't think. I can't remember what pieces are supposed to go where, how they're supposed to move, and I always tend to make the same. Like I'm not great at it. Jamie and Riley are
So
great.
I feel the same way about Monopoly. I fucking hate Monopoly because I'm
No.
like, listen, I don't want to be the strategic. I don't want to fuck people over. I don't want to buy houses. Like I would rather buy the house and then donate it to the other players. Like I don't want to like collect rent and all that. No, I don't want any of that. Yeah, I hate it. So
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway. All
Well,
right.
that's
Well,
right.
that was a lovely, happy ending, and I loved it very much. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Kicking the dog shit out of old grand chess masters.
I know. I wonder how they responded. Like, I'm curious what their response was if they were like, good job. You know what I mean? Like,
Right? Like to
yeah,
acknowledge the
like that's
fact
how
that,
I would be,
yeah,
you know?
10-year-old kids, like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be like, good job. Good for you, 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, good for you.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, that's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
That's a
Well,
love.
I
And
hope. Oh,
yeah,
go ahead. No, go ahead. What were we going to
no,
say?
it's a lovely story for my birthday, especially
It
because it's
was.
about two
Two
females
girls. That's
that
right.
are
And
right.
that's what I was going to say. I hope, on behalf of all of our friends of the pod and our listeners, we're all wishing you a very happy birthday tomorrow. It's going to be a
Thank you.
great day for you. The weather here is gorgeous this week, just
I
for
know.
you.
I
It's
know.
our fake fall. We're in the
I
middle of
know.
fake fall, and it's great.
We slept last night with the windows open
Oh,
and
yeah.
the attic fan turned on.
I've had the windows open since Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah. So today it got a little warm because, we live to serve our dog, Betty White, and
Yes.
it got too warm
Good
for her
reminder.
today. But to your point, like we'll sleep with the windows on overnight. And yeah, so
Yeah.
then it's like mid 60s and we're all,
Yes.
yes, Betty
It's
is just in
best.
heaven. So it's been
Yeah.
great for her. All right. Well, thank you so much for the birthday messages. And for those of you who are still listening, thank you for listening. And hopefully you will like this podcast, share this podcast. And if you have any people that you particularly don't like, who are offended by the Cracker Barrel logo, please be sure to send this their way. And everyone else, we love you. We appreciate you. And we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.